Hi, Jamie again. I got back from hockey. It's my son's hockey and just decided to finish up this video. I'm now in the OHC section of it, starting out with the DC stuff. I have Animal Man. I think I'm going to just keep those two OHCs rather than get the omnibus. Just because I don't mind having two small books. Next is a little bit of Aquaman's run, the kind of the 90s Bronze Age stuff with Jim Aparo. Have all three, Deadly Water, and whatnot, and then the Atlantis Chronicles, which is a little bit more modern with Peter David. Then Batgirl Year One, I enjoyed. Robin Year One, so I decided to get all three. Next, we're hitting the big kind of Batman section. I kind of have it ordered a bit. I've got Batman Year 1 and 2. I really liked Year 2. I don't understand why it gets kind of dragged through the mud. I thought it was a great story. I think it's more because I enjoyed the Mask of the Phantasm, which I feel that's kind of what the movie's based off of. So I have a soft spot for it. And Death in the Family, Killing Joke, yeah, it's okay. I think it's a bit overrated. Gotham by Gaslight, that was a terrific story. I think Gothic was one of my first forays into Morrison's. Grant Morrison. I didn't love it at the start, but then by the end, it was fantastic. Next is the OHCs of Loeb and Sales, Long Halloween, and Dark Victory. Was happy they finally released Dark Victory's OHC because I did not get the absolute of it. Next is Death and Maidens by Rucka. The Hush 15th. The Hush series always has it's. I read it as singles coming out, and I think it's always been better as a monthly rather than as a collected edition, because every month you were like trying to figure out the who done it and who was Hush, and when as a collected edition it doesn't work as well. I mean, Loeb's writing is great and Lee's art is amazing, but I find that's the knock it gets, is that it's not great, and I feel it was more of a, if you were there reading it at the time, it was fantastic. But yeah, I mean, having to wait a month to figure out who Hush might be was super exciting, and kind of when you just have to turn the page and it's there, not as much. And a few other things. A lot of these I've upgraded, so that's kind of why they're still kind of sealed, like The Man Who Laughs, Azarello, Manpool I've read, Gates of Gotham. I liked it. Was short and sweet but fun. Oh, gotta love Darwin Cook's Ego. I really like that story. I'm really sad that Darwin Cook's gone. I always found he could make a perfect Batman story too, among other things. Two-Face Face Off. I don't think I've read that. I think it was part of different. I know it's when kind of Two-Face takes over Gotham, or not takes over. He kind of becomes the protector when Batman. I think Bruce Wayne or Batman's gone. Next is White Knight Deluxe. It's us again. I got that. I told you I'd have it again a second time. Then we got Christ on Infinite Earth and all the companions. I figured I'd just get them all together. I don't really care too much for the companions, but it's nice having a complete story. Next is the Tower of Babel. It's kind of hidden in there because it's a bit dark. It's pretty good. I'm still in the middle of reading it. Then we got some Green Lantern. I really like that Brave and the Bold one with the flashing Green Lantern. Jonah Hex, haven't read. It's always on my list. I always have a soft spot for Westerns, and I can't believe I haven't read it. There's Justice. Some more classic JLA stories, Year One and The Nail. And then Brad Metzer's. So the League is pretty good. Then I've got the Scott Snyder. I think that's great. Manhunter is next. That's the nice little backups from Archie Goodwin, and Walt, man, did you not have a better team up? New Frontier Deluxe. I have that. Look, I have that in absolute, but I really wanted the deluxe, and I bought this from a really good friend from out east, Shannon Short. Big shout out, buddy. It's on my shelf now, and I'm really happy to have it too. It's nice. It's always been one of my favorite stories. And then we've got Nightwing Year One and Robin Year One. Again, I really like those Chuck Dixon. They're Chuck Dixon, I think, right? Yeah, I love those stories. Love the art. Here's the Sandman Deluxes. Again, as I said before, a little let down that those Deluxes were original inkings, but still, it's nice having them complete. I also have Overture and Endless Nights to match up with them. Then we've got Shazam, All-Star Superman Deluxe. I find OHC is my favorite size, so even though I have these in absolutes, I'm okay with them in deluxe too. I don't know. I double dip sometimes, but I just like them. There's Last Sun. That's really great. And then over here, We have the little skinny Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, which I always find Alan Moore, like with Tom Strong, this and Smacks. I find he's known for his more mature titles, but I find he can write a really good, fun tale too. Then All Seasons again, Loeb Sale. You'll see a lot of them on this thing. Red Sun, one of my favorite stories. That was real. I never got that in singles because it was always sold out every time I was trying to buy it. I know it gets a little bit of flack, but it's probably my favorite Superman story because it kind of shows who Superman is, despite where he's from and where he's born. Big shout out to Maddie D for selling it to me locally. Next we've got Secret Origin. That was a nice reboot. Then we've got Trinity. I love that team up with the DC Big Three. One Room, heck yeah. I don't know if I've read that. I think I have. And then Y the Last Man. That was more of a pickup from just more of a pickup that I found locally at a show. I plan on kind of collecting them in that vein rather than in the absolutes or the old omnibus. Here's more odds and ends. Those are my extra Usagi's. I finally got the hardcover of one, so I decided and same with 9. I was a bit worried I wouldn't get one, so I have that one as well. Probably gonna sell those. That Batman, that's the deluxe of the Rebirth, the King, one of the last King books. It just hasn't been put away. Peter Porker is my son's. That Avengers epic, I actually kind of want to trade it to try and find a missing epic I have. Howtoons, that's a cute book. It's by, it was drawn by Tom Fowler, who is, he lives in my neighborhood. He's a friend of mine. Our sons were friends in elementary school. So Howtoons it's a really good book. And he made it largely so his son could read it. So I'm really happy that I have that. And beside it's kind of another book. These were on my son's shelves. Is A Little Endless by Jill Thompson. Next I have Usagi. That's the soft covers of the original Fantagraphic run. I'm actually secretly sending that to somebody next month because it's free shipping. So that person, hopefully they'll be excited. And then next is a little bit of art books from manga. I've got Inuyasha, great series by Rumiko Takahashi. One of my favorite mangakas, and then Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball. Again, another great one. Love Dragon Ball. And then finally, a little Sony flashback. Alright, let's go down a level. These are all the DC Rebirth titles I have. I really loved it that DC was doing this because I was out of comics for a long time, and these were such a beautiful way to get back into it. I have quite a bit. Batman, Superman in action, I think Detective, The Flash, Nightwing, Superman, Wonder Woman, and then Green Arrow with its great different colored spine. Same with the Batman Deluxes. Oh, I have the Batman Catwoman wedding album there. It's a weird shape, so it just goes in there. It's skinny. And then House of X got snuck in there too. I have that in singles as well. I still have to sell those singles. Now we're in the Marvel OHC 1602. Love it. One of my favorite Neil Gaiman stories. I think I had them in singles, and he weaves such a good tale, especially for Marvel, because he's not really known for it. Then a lot of Spider-Man OHCs. These are more, when Marvel was releasing OHC titles. I've got pretty much the whole section. I've only read the current Spider-Man up to the Clone Conspiracy. I haven't read past that, so I still have to catch up, and I have everything in singles. It's just, let's put it on the back burner. We've got some more modern titles with the Avengers and Captain America, and sandwiched in between there is Big Thunder Mountain. I love it that Marvel made stories of Disney World rides. I like Big Thunder Mountain. I went on that as a kid, and then more recently with my family. Black Bolt's a great storyline. There's the new Conan, what's now kind of defunct Conan Marvel run. The 2 Daredevil Zdarsky's. 3's on the way next month. Then the Doctor Strange by I got the Cates. I love it that Bacalo's with them, and then the Slot, and even before that I've got what's the other one? The Cates and the Aaron and Bacalo. Ugh, there we go. Then some Fantastic Four. I was gonna start and get Slots, and I don't think I am now. 2 Moon Knights, Lemire's, and Bendis's. I like Bendis's. It gets a lot of flack. Same with Secret Empire. It's not great, but wasn't bad. I mean, it's no Secret Wars, which is right beside it. That was fantastic. Spider-Man Deadpool OHC. I don't know. I think I'm going to keep it as that. I want to compare it to what the Epic's going to be like that comes out later on the year. And Spider-Man Blue. That's probably my favorite Spider-Man story. Big Ramita fan of Spider-Man. That era of Spider-Man when he's in college. And that, with Loeb and Sale, it's just perfect. Oh, same. I best back there, I've got Captain America White. I'm always trying to collect those colored ones in OHC size rather than the big Omni. Then we've got Kraven's Last Hunt. Great story. Spider-Verse. The ill-fated ordering. I'm happy that the omnibus is coming out for that, although I do love the size of it. And then Spider-Man, which is a nice little change-up. Here we've got Bowie by Alred. I love David Bowie, so I had to get this. Then Monster by Barry Windsor Smith. Finally, those IDW G.I. Joe titles that they never finished. That's kind of why I went digital with them all on a big sale. Then All Hail Megatron at the end. I love Transformers, and that was a perfect storyline to get in. The rest are just kind of playing guides for both myself and there's even a French for Dummies to help my wife out at work when she was doing her French tests. Oh, and speaking of Tom Fowler, that's his copy of Fantastic Four, but don't tell him. All right, now finally, the bottom row is all absolutes. So there's not much to say here. Year one's probably my favorite absolute, simply because you get the newsprint copy. You get a regular one and a newsprint one, and the newsprint has the original colors, which I love because I originally read it as singles, so I never liked the remakes with the different coloring. Then we've got some Loeb Sale, A Long Halloween, Hush, Black Mirror. Black Mirror was great. A little dark, but still really love it. I love Dick Grayson as Batman. I think it's probably because I was reading Batman and Robin when Batman had his back broken in, and when Dick came back, it was neat. Court of Owls, perfect story. Day Tripper, I have not read. I will admit to that. Absolute Flashpoint, after reading that hardcover, actually I think I bought it from the library. I had to get it in absolute form. Favorite Flash story. Can't go wrong with Jack Kirby's Fourth World. Love, those are probably the most beautiful absolutes. And yes, I do know that I have my absolutes probably the wrong way, but I don't care. I think I kind of like them this way. I don't have the Sandman ones anymore, so I don't really care too much about having their covers or the actual book spines there. I like the box ones more. And again, Infinite Crisis, Justice League, I might get rid of the omnis because I think I'm fine with the absolutes. We've got Kingdom Come, Batman, and Absolute Batman, Superman and Batman. Collected this run back in the day. Very big fan of it. I think that's all I need too, simply because rather than the omnibus. Then we've got New Frontier, All-Star Superman, Watchmen. That Watchmen one was actually a wedding gift from my friend. It was the first absolute I ever got. And then rounding it out is Wonder Woman by Azzarello and Cliff Chiang. And then over here's a bit of the DC stuff. Black Hammer, wanted to try it out. Madman, had to pick it up. Neil Gaiman's library. I love Neil Gaiman's short stories in the same way the most, so I had to pick up these three, and I was trying to get them as singles, and then once I learned of the library editions, I got them all. Over here, these are more art books. I've got Yosagi. Dragon Quest, which is my favorite RPG series. Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind. I think some of these are a little mislabeled, because then I finally have Hellboy Volume 1, and another Batman, Prince Charming, because it's got a weird kind of labeling. It's getting kind of skinny here, so we'll round it out. There's Parker Martini by Cook. I've got both of them. I think we were all excited when that last one came out. Some more art books of Ghibli films and One Piece. One Piece 3 comes out next month, thank goodness. And then some History of Hyrule. Ooh, and even Your Name's in there. That's a great anime. I love it. Big thing. Oh, and at the end is Akira. Love Akira. I saw it when I was younger. Own the epics of it. Still own the epics of it too. All 38 of them. I actually haven't read this version of it. I've only read the Marvel epics. Great story. I loved the anime, but then once I read it, I just, as great as the anime is, the story's even better. Yeah, definitely a good keeper. And I realized I didn't go through one of the middle ones, my trades, so we'll start back. And here we just have some Batman trades, Ra's al Ghul, oh, the Demon's Head. I decided to, or Birth of the Demons, sorry. I decided just to get that rather than upgrade to the bigger hardcover one. Have all those post-crisis Batman run almost. I think there's only 1 or 2 volumes left of each to come out to have it all the way up to. Oh my gosh, Where Batman's Back is Broken. I'll just say Night's End. I can't think of what the name of it is. Night Quest, Nightfall. There we go. These are some more things that are more just trades that if you've kind of paid attention, I either have them kind of upgraded, so I'll probably sell them. Although that Grendel one is kind of rare, so I'm happy to still have it. Some more Flash. That was the only Flashpoint story. I decided to keep the one with, the Batman one. I've got Hawkman by Johns right there. I don't have the omnibus. I think the trades are fine to go to. I heard the omnibus was, quote, Jess Bragg, it's like a mousetrap trying to open it. JLA Avengers, that's the updated one. I had all of those in singles, and I was bummed to sell them a few years ago. And then when this came out, my LCS, always support your LCS, because when this thing was one hot ticket, mine had no problem. They only got a few copies in, but because I'm pretty loyal to them, they gave me a copy. They sold me a copy without fuss or muss. Then we have Kingdom Come, great story. That kind of brought me back into comics. It's one of the seminal titles when I was out of comics. It brought me back in the early 2000s. It's great. I still get a bit. I still love just how amazing Captain Marvel is in that, especially his ending. Maybe not Marvel, but just everybody. It's so good. There's the Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck by Rosa. Again, not a huge fan. If it was, I'd have a lot more of them. There's the Mr. Miracle by Kirby. I probably could get rid of that now that I have the Absolutes. There's some Robin stories. I want to kind of finish this line up, because I had all of these as singles, and it'd be nice just to get all. I think there's 5 or 6 of them. Here's some Sandman ones. These were kind of the ones I didn't have in singles, and then a few others. World's End. I just picked up that one up in its trade just because that's my favorite of all of the storylines, so I kind of double dipped on that with the singles. But yeah, hopefully I can replace these ones for those hardcovers. Over here, more things I already have, all seasons. Death of Superman. I'm happy to get the OHC that comes out later on. Last Son of Krypton was great. Oh, we have a little bit of Warlands. That was by the now defunct, it was a Canadian comic company, and the owner was a bit of a jerk, and it didn't pay guys, which is kind of jerky. I still kind of like it. It's a fantasy story, not set. Now we're on the Marvel Epics. I really toned down my epics. I used to have a lot more. Now I'm just really collecting X Factor, those Dark Horse Conans. Hopefully that last one comes out. I mean, it's been delayed, and I hope to get all of that in one run. I know it's double dipping a little bit with the omnibus up top, but I wanted to get a complete run. And then finally my triple dip of Spider-Man and epics. I think I'm only missing, ironically enough, the Sinister Six with what's his name? Oh my god, I mentioned it with Larson. So I was hoping I could trade that Avengers one I just showed earlier for that Larson one. They're both out of print, so hopefully I could find it. Or if anybody has a little bit of a lead on one, I'd love it. Oh, and back here is not really any books. It's more just some Shigoken, or Super Robot Shigoken figures. There's Grandizer, Ray Dean. Oh my gosh, Mazinger, a couple of Mazingers. And then last but not least, the Robot Spirits of Pat Labor, my favorite anime. Oof, look, there's little Alphonse. Anyway, that's kind of the last of my collection. I have another little shelf upstairs. I don't know if I'm going to do a video of it. I probably will. It's more of my favorite titles, but it's not very big. Anyway, thanks a lot. Hope you guys had a good time.